Hello everybody, I'm Corina. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My Facebook page is Corina Stefan Astrology. We are in full eclipse season and I would like to give you some recommendations and advice regarding the right attitude towards the changes that are going to occur into our lives, starting with the last solar eclipse and new moon at 8 degrees Pisces. Those changes are going to occur in the next 6 months from the solar eclipse, which took place on February 26, 2017 at 6:58 a.m. Pacific time. It's a very important astrological event because always solar eclipses are new moons that have attached a very powerful energy to them, because they complete cycles of 19 years. So I would invite you to think about the events that happened back then, 19 years ago. What kind of upsetting event occurred into your lives, or what kind of influence interfered with the foundation of your lives back then. The last solar eclipse in Pisces at the same degree, 8 degrees in Pisces, occurred on February 26, 1998. So that's the time that I'm talking about. To think what kind of project or relationship maybe you initiated or you completed, because the changes that are going to occur into our lives in the next 6 months, starting with the date of 26th of February 2017, are intimately connected with those events that took place 19 years ago. Solar eclipses are for me blessed moments when a hand just interferes from above with our lives and it just takes us from the inappropriate area where we find ourselves and puts us in a completely different area or place, even if we have a different idea about what the right place for us might seem at that time. This intervention from above might feel even like a mouth-to-mouth intervention for someone who is on the brink of death through drowning, and the one resuscitating us is God Himself. So in the next 6 months, starting with the date of February 26, we will have this opportunity to feel God's intervention, to feel His firm but also magical and loving maneuver, as all those toxic waters will burst out of our being, all those toxic waters that lured us into spell-like traps and into this drowning situation. And it can be a symbolic drowning, an existential drowning, through ignorance, through naivety, through martyrdom, through victimhood. During eclipses, the sun and the moon are always involved with one of the moon's nodes. In this case, it's the south node of the moon, and this makes the solar eclipse on February 26, it makes it a door into the past, and a door that will be just shut in the face of the past and of the familiar, of the comfort zone. It's an invitation to step on a different path, to embrace our true destiny, that north node that is our true soul's intention for this lifetime in astrology. This solar eclipse on the south node of the moon, it completes an existential cycle that started 2 years ago, namely in March 2015, and it will draw a very strong and firm conclusion regarding how it feels to live life from a position of victim, of martyr. So we have now a special time and the chance to look at ourselves through very clear lenses, without living in the illusion that maybe a specific situation we are involved in or some sort of impossibility in our lives is not that hard to endure. So from my point of view, this solar eclipse in Pisces is the end of the age of credulity and naivety. In the next 6 months, God actually steals the pink from our color palette and buries our noses only in grays and in browns, because these are the colors of pragmatism and realism. It's the end of self-disillusionment and it's the end of lies. It's a very precious moment that everybody needs to take advantage of, because the next solar eclipse in Pisces, involving the south node of the moon, will occur only in March 2034. So you don't want to spend all this time of 17 years in a position of victim or in disillusionment, or I don't know, by believing in something that is not real, that is not true. The message of this eclipse is to stop waiting for someone from outside to save us. The only savior that can do this for us is within us. So Messiah is only within us. This eclipse in Pisces speaks of the wisdom of our hearts and of the necessity to allow the voice of our intuition speak louder. In a very low vibration, Pisces is all about fear, and it's all about that feeling of being exiled from paradise, the kind of situation where one feels unworthy, dirty, or unwhole. So what this solar eclipse in Pisces does for us is actually it disrupts the patterns of self-sabotage that we feed by ignoring our needs or desires and by becoming martyrs on an altar of a blind faith into illusionary things. It warns us actually to no longer accept being the innocent victim of an abusive situation, of not allowing our trust to be aggressed again and again, like an animal that is repeatedly beaten by its owner, but that keeps going back to that kind of suffering. The age of naivety and credulity ends with this eclipse. The compulsive impulse for Pisces energy is to merge with others because of a longing to recreate that feeling of paradise, of being one. But on planet Earth, this kind of fusion, it's very, very dangerous because it can lead to existential drowning. So I invite you to pay attention to all the people, ideas, beliefs, or emotions you merged with. And if the water of your emotions doesn't run crystal clear, then you'll be able to tell what's polluting your life with toxicity and what is sucking away your vitality and joy. If until now you've been running with invisible weights around your ankles and you were very surprised that you hardly seemed to make any progress towards your goals, this eclipse, the solar eclipse in Pisces, will do something amazing for you. It will finally remove that veil of invisibility, and you will be able to see the true face of whatever surrounds you. And in this struggle to uncover the truth, you have a very powerful ally. Mars joins Uranus in Aries and becomes a part of a very special configuration in the sky, a T-square. And in this T-square, Mars opposes Jupiter in Libra and it squares Pluto in Capricorn. And what does this all mean for us? It means that we receive strength, we receive the will and the impulse to fight for what we really want and for who we really are in a very abrupt way, in a very direct way. It's a life and death fight, and the atmosphere is loaded with gunpowder, and our survival instinct really tells us to blow up all that oppresses us, that controls us or manipulates us. Jupiter in Libra is a wonderful placement, and it promises a lot of personal expansion after all that is fake is exposed. So it's a fight also to find out the truth and to honor our interests and our desires. And the goal of this battle is to be able to be reborn from our ashes like the phoenix, because the focal point in this T-square, in this cardinal T-square, is Pluto in Capricorn. And Pluto in Capricorn gives us no choice but to let die those parts of us that serve materialistic or utilitarian purposes that are not led by the soul's intention. Because the solution of each T-square is taking place exactly in the opposite sign of the focal point. So that would be Cancer for this case. So I wish you all an easy rebirth, and if you liked my message, if you found it inspiring or wise in any way, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Thank you.